my dear friends, welcome to Series English. My name is Antonia Armakar and today we are going to talk about prepositions, the difference between in and at. Well, actually we are going to touch upon a very peculiar situation, peculiar phrases. So I want to compare the phrases at the beginning, in the beginning, at the end, in the end. First of all, let's remember that in is usually inside and it deals with some physical occasions. So in the building, in the cafe, in the box, and so on. And when we use at, usually we are talking about an abstract notion or an organization, like I'm at school, I'm at work. I'm not referring to the building, like I'm in the building, but I'm at an organization. I'm at a party. I'm not in the building, in the, flat. I'm at the party, at an event, at an organization. Okay, and now let's talk specifics. So, first of all, I want to compare at the end and in the end. Let's start with at the end because it has more meanings. First of all, we can talk about a location. So, for instance, at the end of the street. I'll meet you at the end of the street. Or at the end of the street, you'll find all you need. So, location. Now, we can also talk about the metaphorical end, like the end of a story or the end of a movie, and so on. So not a physical end, but when something ends, and that's why we can say at the end of the story. At the end of the movie, Scarlett, Red Butler, and Scarlett O'Hara finally got together. And finally, the phrase at the end can refer to the end of time periods. So we can say at the end of the lesson, at the end of the week. So I'll finish my project and give it to you at the end of the week. Or at the end of this class, I'm going to be naked. So watch up to the end. So now let's move on. As for the phrase in the end, it is an adverbial phrase or an adverb phrase. And it basically means finally. In the end, finally. I will tell you a short story here. Once upon a time, we were dining at a cafe with our friends. It was somebody's birthday. I don't remember whose exactly. Anyway, we were eating and a waitress brought an extra pizza for us, which we hadn't ordered. So we ate it and thought, okay, we'll pay for it. But in the end, we didn't have to pay for it. So when you use the phrase at the end, you usually say at the end of what? At the end of the story, at the end of the street, at the end of the class, and so on. However, the phrase in the end is used alone. It's like an introductory phrase or something. So you don't have to say in the end of what. You simply say in the end, like finally, eventually. In the end, Scarlett and Red got together. It's possible to say it like this. And now let's get to the phrases at the beginning and in the beginning. The logic is the same. So when we use the phrase at the beginning, we refer to time or location when or where something begins. At the beginning of the story, at the beginning of the class, at the beginning of the street. And in the beginning implies a contrast with a later situation. For example, we can say, when I started watching TV shows in the original, in the beginning, it was really hard. So I had to rack my brains in order to try to understand. However, in the end, later on, eventually, it got better, easier and easier, and now I watch TV shows without excruciating pain in my head. In this meaning, in the beginning equals at first. So in the beginning equals at first, and in the end equals finally, eventually. So in the beginning it was hard, but in the end it got easier. The same as at first it was hard, but finally it got better. It got easier. Here I need to point out that in the Cambridge Dictionary there are examples which presuppose using both at the beginning and in the beginning to create a contrast with a later situation. So, an example. I enjoyed my job at the beginning, but I'm bored with it now. So you can say, I enjoyed my job in the beginning, but I'm bored with it now. At or in the beginning. So once again, let's summarize. At the beginning or at the end are used to talk about the end of something. It can be a location, it can be a time period, or a metaphorical end of something, like the end of the story or the beginning of the story, and so on. And the phrases in the beginning and in the end are used alone, so you do not specify the end of what you're talking about. So that's why they are used alone, like introductory phrases. And in the beginning equals at first, and in the end equals finally. So that's basically it. I hope that now you understand the difference clearly. And that's it. So hope to see you soon. Keep studying English with me. Do not forget that at this channel you'll also study Russian with me. Well, you can if you want. You can choose just one language. It's up to you. And moreover, I have one extra channel now for Russians who want to study English. So you can visit it now and take a look. Do not forget to like this video, so press the button. It won't take much time, but it will mean the world for me. So keep studying English, keep studying Russian, and I hope to see you soon. Happy English and Russian practice. Bye-bye. Oh, I have almost forgotten. I promised that at the end of this class I'm going to be naked. Gotcha. Sorry, guys. Well, I can just unbutton one button. Unbutton one button. Get to the phrases the same as